Regarding last week's historic summit between the leaders of South Korea, the U.S., and Japan, the U.S. ambassador in Seoul says the security arrangement made at Camp David is not legally binding like NATO, but a political agreement. Our foreign affairs correspondent Bae Eun-ji has the details.
The U.S. ambassador to South Korea, Phillip Goldberg, says the commitment to consult, which outlines Seoul, Washington, and Tokyo's commitment to coordinate their responses to regional threats, is not a binding agreement. While meeting reporters on Wednesday afternoon at his residence in Seoul, he stressed that Camp David is not a new NATO. He explained that it's not a duty nor a military alliance between South Korea and Japan, but rather a cooperative step where the three countries can interact when there are common threats.
So you can think of it more as a political agreement than a legally binding agreement.
When asked if the commitments made at Camp David will last even after elections, he said the interactions that will take place in the next several months will make it an enduring relationship, regardless of the political factors in each country.
It has a very strong commitment from the three leaders. In the case of the United States, there's a tremendous bipartisan agreement, of which isn't all that common in our political life, in support of this.
As for the possibility of the second trilateral summit taking place in Seoul, he said the invitation by President Yoon was well received, but refrained from confirming further details. He also highlighted President Yoon's role in bringing the three countries together by taking forward-looking policies and leadership to improve relations between Seoul and Tokyo. He added that while this relationship is very important to Washington, it depends on the people and the leaders of the two countries, and that it's not something the U.S. can and would resolve. Since taking office in May last year, President Yoon has been working to restore ties with Japan by resolving historical disputes, such as the issue of compensating the Korean victims of wartime forced labor during Japan's colonial rule, before and during World War II. Meanwhile, as for the issue of Japan's plan to release wastewater from the destroyed Fukushima nuclear power plant, the ambassador said the U.S. and South Korea's positions align, adding that Japan has followed the internationally accepted process. Bae Eun-ji, Arirang News.